Okay, guys, let's talk not quadratic inequalities, trigonometric inequalities. Okay, so usually what I do is I recommend solving these using Desmos because it's nice to get that visual. But for some of you, you don't like Desmos, and if it's simple, then you can do it by hand. So let's do a couple of simple ones. So we want to find out where sine of x is less than or equal to, okay, 1/2. Okay, so when you solve any inequality, it has what we call a related equation. Oops, I'm sorry, I should have said from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this to the equation sine x is equal to 1/2. Okay, so we're going to solve that. So using the inverse function or the unit circle, we know that sine is 1/2 at x is equal to pi over 2. And it is 1/2 again at 5 pi over 6. Actually, no, wait, that's not a 2, that's a 6. Okay, I'm sorry. So pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. Okay, so that tells us where it's equal to. I want to know where it's less than. Okay, so if you have a true sense of the unit circle, you know that when sine oscillates. So when it starts at 0, it moves up to 1/2, crosses the 1/2 mark, and then goes all the way up to 1, then back down, hits the 1/2 again, and then it goes into the negative. Okay, so we want to know where sine of x is less than or equal to 1/2. Okay, so thinking about my unit circle, oops. Let's see if I can get. There we go. That works. Okay, so this is 0. This is pi over 2. Pi, 3 pi over 2. And if we go all back around, okay, 2 pi. So this right here is pi over 6. This right here is 5 pi over 6. Okay, so if I think about sine, starts at sine at 0 equals 0, and then it goes up until it hits pi over 6. Now at this point, it is less than 1/2. It's below that 1/2 mark. As soon as it hits pi over 6, it's above that half mark until it comes all the way around to 5 pi over 6. Once it hits 5 pi over 6, then we get below that 1/2 mark. Okay, so remember, sine at pi is 0. Once it hits the 0, it goes down below into the negatives. So that's all less than or equal to 1/2. So I can write my answer as 0, because we're solving from 0, to pi over 6 close bracket because it's equal to, and then 5 pi over 6 to 2 pi, open bracket because of where I'm supposed to find my solution. Okay, now you could have done this by graphing it on Desmos. So let's do another simple one and see what happens. Oops. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's do cosine is less than or equal to 1/2. So we're going to do our related equation. Okay, so cosine is equal to a positive 1/2 at pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Okay, again, we're going to try to use our unit circle to help out. Now, what I'm going to do at this time, I'm not going to draw my unit circle. I'm going to use a unit circle that's already been drawn for me, so you can see kind of how that would work out. So let's see here. There it is. Okay, so a lot of you already have a unit circle. Okay, all right, so we're looking at cosine. All right, we have 1/2 at pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Okay, so we want cosine to be less than that. Okay, so less than 1/2 would definitely be 0, right? Would definitely be negative 1/2, negative radical 2 over 2. All of this in here because it's negative, right? And that goes back up to 0. Okay, and it's less than 1/2 here. Once we reach this part right here, all of this in here, oh, a little too far. There we go. All of that in there, that orange highlighted part, that's greater than 1/2. Okay, so I don't want that. I want less than or equal to. So it looks like I'm less than or equal to from pi over 3 to 5 pi over 3. And there we go. So that's another way you can solve it by hand. Now, if it gets a little bit more complicated, then I would definitely go to Desmos. Okay? All right, hopefully that was helpful to you.